Good morning, Vikings. Today is February 15th.
We have quite the show coming up today.
First, we have a recap of the Model UN competition at MIT.
Plus, one of our students has risen to the top through his Eagle Award.
Lastly, one of America's spookiest families is coming to a theater near you. We have an inside look at our spring production.
I'm Daniel Ogden.
And I'm Sam Romero, and your Gold Crew News starts right now. In today's top story, imagine if you had to represent another country and defend views that are apart from yours.
Well, I know all about that, Sam. In fact, I just returned from a Model United Nations conference in Boston.
Really? Well, those conferences can definitely be intense. Let's take a look at the competition.
What Model UN is it's like a club that is like a mock United Nations. So basically, we'll get like countries or people, and you'll like go and debate the issue and stuff and try to form a solution to the problem.
So Model UN, it's been a great experience for me. It really taught me how to develop my public speaking skills.
We went to Mitmunk at MIT in Boston, and it was really, really fun.
Boston was a bunch of fun. I love being on the MIT campus. It was great to be there. The conference as a whole, it was really fun. Pretty competitive this year compared to last year, but we still came home with 10 awards, which is great.
I was in UNEP, which is United Nations Environmental Protection, and we basically just talked about climate change. And I had Canada.
Specifically, I represented Switzerland in the HRC, the Human Rights Council, and we talked about Muslim minorities in China and women's rights in Afghanistan.
So through Model UN, I've learned a lot about debating and a lot about the world and about different things that I didn't know before that are really important about the world.
Through winning the honorable commendation, that a lot of times you really just need to put yourself out there, really get up and speak. Join Model UN, it's a lot of fun. It's not as much work as everyone makes it out to be, and it looks great for college.
Join MUN, it's fun.
That trip looked like it was a lot of fun.
It definitely was. Speaking of the conference, one of the members of Model UN has a lot to say about the club.
Jackson Ames shows us more.
Good morning, Bishop Rowe. My name is Jackson Ames, reporter of VNN. Today, we're going to interview Ryan Dwyer on what it takes to be a great successor at Model United Nations. Ryan, how are you in it to win it for Model UN each and every conference?
It's really just all about complacency. Other countries will get complacent and nervous during conferences, and they just won't talk. And you got to really just talk and stick up for your country because you're representing a whole country. And you have to really think of solutions for the whole world.
And then how do you plan to succeed during a conference?
Like I said, you really just can't sit there idle, and you have to be on the offense instead of like other countries bringing you into arguments. You have to go in and bring other countries into arguments, call them out for stuff that they are doing wrong or they are doing right, bring solutions to the table. And really, if you do all that, it'll be pretty good.
And how does Model UN better yourself outside of the club?
It gets me more involved in the world, in the whole world. It gives me more of like a world view of things, and it really just helps me become more outgoing towards other people because in conferences you don't know any of those people.
Thank you, Ryan Dwyer.
You're welcome.
For reporting for Gold Crew News, this is Jackson Ames. And thank you for Ryan Dwyer for giving us his time. Peace out.
Model UN looks like it can be a lot of fun.
Hey Sam, have you noticed that the prayer garden has gotten an impressive upgrade?
Well, a Boy Scout of Burrow has a lot to say because his team is behind the new look.
Olivia Kennedy and Juliet Ringoff give us a closer look.
All of the students at Varro have their own activities they pursue outside of school. One student in particular has just received a huge honor.
I recently was awarded the rank of Eagle Scout, which is a huge honor when it comes to Boy Scouts. Only about 2% of all Boy Scouts who ever sign up get it, and to become an Eagle Scout, you have to do a lot of things. It shows that you show leadership and live by the Scout law and the Scout oath and all that.
One major requirement to become an Eagle Scout is a large service project. Applicants must come up with an idea and present it to a board for approval.
This garden area is what I did as my project. Part of my project was the painting of rocks, and I tried to get all the seniors to get involved with that. One of my teachers came up to me, teachers who knew I was working for Eagle Scout, came up to me and mentioned this as a potential idea, because at the time I was still trying to figure out a project. I was talking about it, and they suggested, hey, you could do up this area. And I was like, that's a good idea. And 9 months later, this came to be.
The project has taken a lot of hard work and dedication, but Josh says it's a great way for him to leave his mark on Vero.
It's something that I and all my volunteers have done to kind of like just leave a lasting impact, and along with like hopefully all the seniors and the future seniors. And I just hope it'll be a lasting legacy on the school.
Reporting for VNN, I'm Olivia Kennedy.
Great work, Josh. That was really an impressive project.
It really was. Next up, our theater department is working hard on our next production.
Sydney Lanier and Siobhan Strickle show us what's behind the curtain of the Addams Family.
So the plot of Addams Family is like, there's the Addams Family and then there's the Beinecke family. The Addams Family is like this whole like huge group. And they have like all these different songs where they're super emo and they're super goth and they're, you know, basically all about death, darkness, all that stuff. The Beinecke family is like the complete opposite, where it's like, you know, yellow and sunny and bright.
Kind of becomes a mess, but then it comes back at the end and all happy.
Everybody can like watch and get involved and know what's going on and not have the person next to them have to explain it to them.
The whole show has this kind of dark Halloween vibe, which I think is going to be really fun to work with. We're going to try our best to like deck the theater out, make it feel like a haunted house. Well, on our last performance day, I always take a moment to recognize the seniors. There's something about taking your final bow and having the lights on you and knowing it's your last show on this stage that's really like emotional, especially for a lot of our seniors. This is like they've been in every show all the way up to here, and this is their last call.
But I think that after being in theater both at Vero and in middle school and outside of school, I think that you take on this whole new appreciation of it. So I think that I'll definitely go and see all these different plays and be like, oh my gosh, I know how they did that with the lighting or the costuming and all that.
It's so good to see leadership at Vero.
It sure is. That's all we have at VNN today. We'll see you next time.
And make sure to stay golden, Vero.